you're starting to worry me.
Don't be worried. It's a beautiful thing.
I think I'm trying to think of a way to solve this whole situation. We're trapped in this eldritch nightmare. And I think we're going to have to bring out the big guns.
Bring them on.
You know what the biggest gun is?
What's that?
God. And I don't know. I think there's some groups of people that have tried it before. And we'll see if we experience some success with this, because we can't live here.
Okay. Okay.
One such group that tried it,
the Christians.
the Christians, especially this group in the movie The Prince of Darkness from 1986. John Carpenter's first real shot at, I guess, Lovecraftian horror.
There's something very Lovecraftian about it, yes.
A lot of people allude to it being Lovecraftian. It wasn't so overt.
No, it shares themes.
And I think that's what happens with a lot of pictures like this. Is Lovecraft is one of these things you can kind of pick and choose what you like from it.
Yeah.
And you can twist and kind of modernize it, because let's be honest, Lovecraftian horror exists across the ages.
Yeah, it does. It spans all time and probably all future, all religions and all peoples.
Yeah, it's all encompassing, and so in that way, in this modern climate, it's very inclusive. But what happens?
It's an inclusive cult.
Yeah, we don't judge too hard.
Yeah,
just bow down to the cosmic horrors. But for anyone that doesn't know about it, run down the plot very basically.
Okay, basically, there's an old priest who dies, he was part of a sect.
An ancient sect of priests.
Really ancient sect that guarded a secret. And when he died, that secret became revealed to a group of people, one of his friends.
Yeah, one of his close, I guess, people of the cloth sort of thing.
Yeah, who realizes he's way out of his depth here and he needs the help of local scientists.
Yeah, local scientists. The university's called in.
Yeah, the university's called in to help translate and prove
this ancient...
the veracity of this tome that they found and this lava lamp that's spinning around in the basement.
Yeah, one of those supposedly indescribable things that shouldn't exist.
Yeah.
So what I took away from the whole story is that it spins Christianity and a lot of religions on its head. Is that Jesus was a god, but he was a part of existence of other gods, and he realized he didn't really have the power to overcome all these things. Like he was kind of lower on the tier, low rung god.
Yeah.
And to be able to hold people back, he somehow trapped away these entities and waited for a time when humanity could find a way to solve this problem, because with science and technology.
Right.
And I guess the age has come where now
whatever's in that jar spinning around in the basement,
it's trying to get out.
It's waking up. It's happening. It's going places. It's got places to be, and it's got dinners to attend to.
It's snapping its fingers all over the place. The only people
hailing taxis down the street.
The only people that can stop it are these scrappy students and some might say crackpot professors.
Yeah,
like physicists that believe more in the philosophy of it than they do of the actual science.
Yeah.
And so they bring in Egg Shen.
Yeah. Good old Egg. We'll get to him another time too.
Yeah, definitely. But one of John Carpenter's favorites. And he brings his students in along with other experts, and they're gonna examine this vessel and
test it.
Break it down and just kind of see if the situation is as bad as it seems.
Yeah.
Boy, is it as bad as it seems.
Okay, this vessel of evil is affecting things around it now that it's starting to wake up.
Yeah.
Homeless people are swarming the grounds where the tests are being conducted.
Yeah, around this old church.
Yeah, around this old church. And they're kind of forming like a blockade containing
Yeah, nothing gets in or out.
Nothing gets in or out. You know, animals are behaving strangely, like
Insects.
Insects specifically.
Yeah.
Are climbing the walls and
sometimes wearing clothes.
Sometimes wearing clothes, yeah.
Yeah, wearing human flesh like they were wearing a Tom Ford 3-piece suit. By the way, we're not sponsored by Tom Ford.
But if you want to sponsor us, go ahead.
Yeah, knock yourselves out. But, no, so it turns into the situation where you have these scientists, which are a mix of believers, hard workers, disbelievers, and then you have a priest there just to drive everyone up the wall.
Yeah.
And ramp it up to 11.
Yeah.
And so people start getting picked off one by one by this entity that is...
It takes over your body by going in through the mouth. It squirts you in the mouth and you become...
enthralled, I guess?
Enthralled by it, yeah, I guess.
But it's also trying to find a way to control people.
Mm-hmm.
So they can find a way to bring this God back into...
Yeah.
Yeah, the God that Jesus was scared of. And, you know, they always... The one thing I like about this is they settle it very early is, why can't we just go to the media about this? Why can't the Catholic Church just open up about this secret? And then, bluntly, it said, people don't want to hear about this bullshit. And it's just not something they can comprehend.
Mm-hmm.
Lovecraft, like that's it to a T. Is
pretty well, yeah.
Even the people that are like accredited physicists and theologians and people studying human history. These are all doctors, basically, and they're all struggling to keep up with it.
Yeah, they can't really keep up with it. You know, this movie does a lot of stuff. Interestingly, you know, a lot of very interesting stuff is mentioned in passing. You know, they never really touch on it again. You know, it becomes basically a siege where, you know, you have a large number of these scientists are infected and they're trying to hunt the other scientists down.
Yeah. And so
they're all holed up in rooms and stuff like that.
Yeah, and everybody's having a hard time because, you know, they're living in this church with the barest of necessities. They're getting like 10, 15 minutes sleep just to work around the clock just to help the archdiocese. And so they're not in a great place to begin with. And then they start contending with powers from beyond. And it pushes them to the breaking point.
Right.
And people start dropping out.
Through no fault of their own. There's actually real evil working, like physical evil.
Yeah.
Is a thing.
Like the way John Carpenter described it is he liked the idea of matter and antimatter. There's always a counter to it. And there's faith and belief in this protective spirit, and then there's this force that works completely opposite to it.
Yeah.
And you know, the church would say it's evil, but it's just a natural countermeasure.
It exists.
It keeps the universe in balance. But if you're in its way, it's going to unbalance you.
Yeah.
So the whole thing comes to a head, and they, I guess, the anti-power shows its hand.
Literally.
Yeah. Basically, trying to find a way to enter our world again.
Right.
And in a very, actually, how do I say this? The love interest doesn't matter in this movie, and I love it.
The flesh doesn't matter in this movie.
Yeah, for once you have people that have knowledge and intellect and drive to preserve the world as we know it, you know, and she chooses that over, you know, a good
or at least
night in bed.
carnal pleasures.
Yeah. So, in that way, this movie satisfied me a lot as a viewer watching it, and you know, we would make smart remarks at other movies. Why are you worried about this guy? You only slept with him once.
Yeah.
Well, get out of here. I'm saving the world. But what I liked about this movie was the science behind it.
Yeah, there's just enough science in this movie, and it's the bare minimum.
Yeah,
You know,
they pull out the words like tachyons, which
tachyons, which at least travel as fast as light. I'm not sure, but then again, I didn't bother to fact check it as I'm watching it, but it sounds believable.
well, no, tachyons do travel faster than light, and
Well, I'll prove it right now.
that was part of the solution. Is somebody was sending dreams back to them, and tachyons travel faster than light, so in a way you'd be sending it back in time, and trying to warn them of the impending doom.
Right.
And when the message finally gets sent, you know, everyone thinks it's message from an evil place, but it's really trying to warn them a little bit. So, I don't know. I really had a lot of fun with this movie.
It's actually really good. It only drags in a couple of places. Like the beginning, the middle are really good. I'm really impressed with the speed at which everything moves, and then in the last part, it really kind of dies out.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
Until the final ending moment, yeah, the third act is probably the worst part of the movie.
yeah, it's like
Too many people are trying to run and hide.
too many people are hiding or holed up in a room, and not a lot is happening. Like
No, and you have a lot of people doing nothing.
yeah.
You know, the cast is actually fairly huge for what generally
a
a
big
Lovecraft
cast.
story is.
Yeah.
Like Lovecraft stories tend to keep it to it's one of his kind of tenets is you should be able to have the main cast on one hand. And there were like a dozen doctors,
Yeah.
and they all had lines, and they all kind of had a character. So you got to account for all of them, and you know you could tell by the third act. Even John Carpenter was like, "Well, we got to turn them into zombies, this guy into zombie, and just chop them down." But you spend like 25 minutes doing that.
Pretty well. On the whole, I would say it's basically a good movie.
Yeah.
I'd say I'd recommend this.
I'd say for John Carpenter, it's a great foray, first attempt into the genre. You know, he's always had this stuff on his mind.
Yeah.
Like movies like They Live.
The Thing.
Yeah, The Thing.
It's a
That's
movie
a
about-
Lovecraftian story.
Yeah, it's he specializes in like paranoia movies.
Paranoia, the insidious darkness,
The Insidious Darkness.
the unseen threats, and for him to tackle Lovecraft, it fits right in his wheelhouse. Just kind of wish he had
Just edit it a little bit better.
just a tiny bit, just a tiny bit.
Just knock off about 15 minutes.
And you can use that time to add more creep.
Yeah.
You could use that time to work on your character, your creature effects. And not that I had a problem with it. Good makeup. But you know, the lava lamp, it's a pretty good villain. And the hand through the mirror is a pretty good villain.
Yeah.
But that 25 minutes would have been nice to have seen a little bit more.
Or a little bit less.
Yeah. Yeah, 6 one, half a dozen the other. But with Lovecraft, it's up to interpretation. But from me and Al, I have to give this movie a pass.
I'll give you a pass too.
But it didn't teach us nothing about solving this problem here.